But I'm not going to get into that. I already got into that on the last show. But as of right now, we've got to turn our attentions to the one rivalry, the one match, the one feud that has been properly built up leading into the pay-per-view. And yes, it is a battle between a Raw champion and a SmackDown champion. It is a battle between the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, and the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. But more so than that, it's not about Raw versus SmackDown. It's not about who's the better brand or who is the better champion on their respective show. It's not about that. It's about a rivalry that goes back to about 3 years. It's about a friendship that goes back about almost 10 years at this point. And apparently, if you believe the dirt sheets and all the wrestling news websites out there, the friendship that Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair once had might be done. It might be over with. And that happens. It's life. It's not that big of a deal when you fall out of a friendship or of a relationship with someone. That's just life. That's just how it happens. A lot of things have changed since they first became friends. Charlotte Flair has become the most decorated woman, not only in WWE history, but in professional wrestling history altogether. And Becky Lynch has become one of the highest grossing and top stars, male or female, in WWE today. She is the man after all, and when she's on television, you pay attention to that. And like I said, I had many criticisms to the placement of WWE's draft, with it being just weeks prior to Crown Jewel, prior to Survivor Series, and the rosters themselves not going into effect until after Crown Jewel. But it did give us one great segment, and that was the Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair championship, trade-off, championship swap, whatever you want to call it, which again is a joke for the WWE to do that. And it was the second time they did that, so it wasn't unheard of. But just on that point, you have to look no further than the fact that WWE would not go as far as to have a championship swap between their main titles, the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. They would not do that with the main titles, but they do that with the branded championships because they can, and it's their rules. That's all I'm going to say about that. But in that segment, I believe over a month ago now, there was some real-life tension, there was some real-life heat that you can feel in that arena and as a fan watching at home between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Now the rumors are saying that the interaction, the segment didn't go quite as planned, and Charlotte Flair went off book because she wasn't in agreement with what had happened. And honestly, I agree with Charlotte Flair there, because I believe that week prior, or that very same week, Charlotte Flair should have dropped the Raw Women's Championship to Bianca Belair, and then you should have had Becky Lynch drop the SmackDown Women's Championship without getting pinned at Crown Jewel against Sasha Banks, and have the Blueprint be the SmackDown Women's Champion right now, and that would have made it a more easy, more smooth transition for both women's championships. But nonetheless, WWE decided to protect Becky Lynch, which obviously they're going to do. It's Becky Lynch, big time Bex right now, is the number one female star, and one of the top stars on their programming. So of course they're gonna protect her in the same vein as a Roman Reigns, as they should. But as far as this match goes, this is the only match I care about in terms of story. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair have been shooting shots at each other for the past few weeks, and each and every single show it keeps getting better and better and better, and I just want to see them go at it. I really do. I don't care about the real life. I don't. Number one, because you can have other superstars, other dirt sheets and wrestling news websites commenting on the real life tension and real life heat between them, but at the end of the day, that's between them. It should not matter to us. But it does raise the stakes for this match, and no doubt about it, we're gonna have ourselves a fantastic match at Survivor Series between these two women, and hopefully there's a winner. Hopefully there is, and if there is a winner, I'm most likely gonna be Becky Lynch because, like I said, they do not want her to get pinned or submitted. They're protecting her at all costs. So it's either Becky Lynch wins, or there's gonna be a no contest, or a no DQ, or a DQ and count out fallout from that match. Nonetheless, it speaks volumes to what WWE has done leading up to Survivor Series when we only have one match that we actually care about. We don't care about the Raw champion versus SmackDown champion, Reigns versus Big E, although everyone wants to see it, but they haven't built it up the way that they built up last year's title versus title match between Reigns and McIntyre. They haven't done that.